much, Professor Mahapatra, for this generous introduction. First of all, I would like to thank Professor Mahapatra for contacting me. The Center for the Diaspora Studies, Central University of Gujarat, one of my most favorite places that I have visited already a couple of times. Rajesh Kumar, President of the Alumni Association of JNU, and all the other 5 organizations for putting together such a timely webinar. I am a very proud JNUite, and I take great pride because introducing myself as a JNUite. So anything JNU related that you are doing, I'm always interested to learn more from you all. I would like to thank Honorable Minister Sri Muralidharan, Minister of State for External Affairs and Parliamentary Affairs, for such an illuminatory talk, and I learned so much. Dr. Pramod Kumar, Registrar JNU, Professor Ramasankar Dubey, Vice Chancellor, Central University of Gujarat, Professor Ajay Dubey, who just spoke before me and very much laid out a kind of a wonderful way how to address the Indian diaspora. And of course, that Ambassador Anup Mudgal, Professor Mohan Gautam, among all other dignitaries. I teach cultures of India, Indian diaspora, and have been actively doing research on the Indian immigrants here in the USA. I have been studying the H-1B and H-4 visa holders who have come to the USA on work visa, known as the non-immigrants. And they have been affected the most during the pandemics. I would like to discuss that. So they have a maximum 6-year visa unless they get a green card being sponsored by their company. About 500,000 of them are about 500,000 non-immigrant visa holders are here in the United States. They are called the high-skilled workers, and 70% of them are from India. India is the highest contributor and subscriber to this kind of, these immigrants, the non-immigrants rather, coming to United States. And they come with their families, their wives and children. They are known as the dependents. H-4 visa holders. Their number is close to about 1 million. So imagine about 4 million Indians of Indian origin, and about 1 million of them are in this kind of floating the floating situation, because they are known as non-immigrants and are working for the United States in various companies. The companies you name, Facebook, Google, among others. So, and they contribute tremendously to the prosperity of the United States. And one interesting and also this interesting fact is these H-4 visa holders cannot work in this country as dependents. They don't have a social security card. They don't have a driver's license. They cannot even have a bank account. They don't have a credit card. And most of these women, educated professionals who are coming from India on H-4 visa, they become confined to their homes and they become non-entities. And their visa is called depression visa. Many studies have been done. And lately in 2015, Obama government introduced H-4 EAD to make some of them eligible to work only if their spouses have I-140 in the process of getting their green card. So a majority of the H-4 visa holders who are scattered with their spouses in IT industry all over the country are still not working. During the pandemics, the H-1B workers have been affected the most, along with their H-4 dependents. Even though we say that the technology industry has not been affected that much, but we see that there has been a huge job loss, and United States now is kind of, experiencing unemployment about 10%. It was 15%, never heard of since the Depression, but now about 10%, and still, and I think majority of these H-4 visa holders, H-1B visa holders have lost their jobs. And this is where, and another issue here I want to bring to you, that is the children. The children who come as dependents being born in India, that they are also H4 visa holders. They suddenly, at the age 21, they become foreigners, they become illegals in this country. So they age out. So they have to go back to India to get their F1 if they want to come back as students. So this is also another issue that, and this happens with the, this is tied to a very important fact that the people who come on H1B, they apply for their green card, and they are on the kind of, and there is a huge backlog for the green card because India produces the maximum high-tech workers coming to United States, but only America issues 140,000 green cards every year. Out of 140,000, each country has a 7% quota. And in that quota, India's number is very small. And even though India contributes the maximum workers, the people who get the visa, their number is very, very small. So as a backlog, there has been a lot of debate going on that. So the children have suffered the most. So here my humble submission to the Indian External Affairs Ministry to see to it if the children, the adults, for them, America is their home. When they go back to India, how their visa process can be smoothened. Because we here, I have interviewed hundreds of these students who are brought up here, go to India, get a F1, and how to kind of make their experience little better, and how to see that they don't feel unwanted going back to India. And also here I would say that if India can intervene in any way that with the USCIS, that United States the immigration agency, that how to kind of create a kind of a better system without using the 7% quota, eliminating the quota system, that would be a great help. I know our Prime Minister Modi has a fantastic relationship with President Trump and the American government. So it will be wonderful if there's something, there can be a liaison, can be a collaboration. I hope the minister is here, that I'm just kind of because I am studying them, I have been interviewing them. I think I am also part of many of these activist groups that who are making cases, who are doing demonstrations, who are kind of making a case for themselves for living here for 10-15 years. Imagine for them to get a green card, it will be 150 years, so they will be dead. So, and many of them have passed away in the process of waiting for the green card. And in this context, I would like to say just a few words how the pandemic has really affected and what the Indian government has done. That since the first week of March 2022, the USA has been in a limbo overnight. Millions of people have lost their jobs. The it's been the unparalleled, and the kind of that we see that it has been unbelievable that the unemployment rate has been high. Many high-skilled professionals have lost their jobs. Among them, the high-skilled foreigners known as H1B holders have been the hardest hit, and they are in a very precarious state. They are not entitled to any unemployment benefit. They are the highest contributors, by the way, to the remittance back to India. So they are not entitled to any kind. Even though they are paying taxes, they don't get any benefit, unlike the citizens or the green card holders. So their spouses, even with legal permission to work, called EAD, they are also lose their jobs as along with H1B, because their visa is tied to H1B. So India's External Affairs Ministry has initiated this Bande Bharat mission. According to our Sanjay Panda, the outgoing Consul General of India in San Francisco, 40,000 Indian nationals have been registered. There have been a huge kind of waiting list, but India has done its best in just bringing back these Indian citizens. And interestingly, and very kind of, and I really want to thank the External Affairs Ministry and the Prime Minister, our Honorable Minister is here on May 22nd. 2020, Government of India issued a memo that OCI cases also will be entertained, that the children who are OCI being born here, they also can accompany their parents. This is just a fantastic move. But I would like to, and then also giving priority, as the minister said, giving priority to the elderly, to the medically, to the sick, and to also to the visitors who visited. So, but I really want to bring to your attention a very important issue that I am working on is domestic abuse and domestic violence, especially among the H4 dependents. But, you will be really surprised that between 2017 to 2019, the ministry has received about 4,000 complaints, most of them from USA and UK ministry, to kind of, that for domestic violence cases. So the ministry provides information. The ministry also kind of provides some sort of finance, and also there is a bill now continuing. The bill is now issued. The bill is now on the floor that in the parliament to kind of how to address this issue. But I really want to make a case here by talking to various organizations and various people who have been suffering, that the ministry should make sure that they can help with the background checks of the people who are already been convicted in the United States. So doing a background check and just having posters in the visa offices, passport offices, so that way people know that these people, these predators, they go back, marry young women, bring them back, treat them badly, and they are stranded, they're abandoned with their children, and they're forcefully deported back to the country. So there is a background check that I would recommend that for the ministry to really take into account. And also and also the people who are coming to this country as students, as also young spouses, that what are their rights. If the external affairs ministry makes sure to kind of popularize the rights of these people, that kind of as Indian citizens, and also what are the opportunities available here, that would be a big help, because these people come, they are confined to their homes, they do not have any way to learn about their rights, they are kind of the opportunities they have. So I would urge that that's this connection that between the India and US agencies to be much more stronger, so that way that kind of the people who are suffering silently, their issue will be addressed. There are numerous instances now that the bride's family are under pressure to not press charges or report the police. So the role of external affairs ministry is to educate the young people, the elderly, about their various roles. For example, there is an act called Violence Against Women Act 1994, introduced by our now the Vice President Biden, which was made into a law during the Clinton's regime, but which has really gone through several amendments. It applies to abused partners, both men and women, elderly parents who come from India and are abused, and also adult children who are abused. So these issues, if we can bring to make kind of to the public knowledge, to make it more popular, more accessible, so that way people who are coming to this country, they come with open eyes, that what are their rights, how they can take advantage of their rights. So because many of these H4 visa holders, mostly women, have to go back as their visa expires, but they have to leave their children who are US citizens. So when the H1B spouse would intentionally not help with the extension of visa, and in a few cases each stop the green card process, here the external affairs ministry can help. So with this, my humble submission, I really kind of find it such a wonderful opportunity. Thank you again, Professor Mahapatra. Thank you, Aj. Thank you all the organizations for this timely webinar, and I would love to collaborate with you all. Thank you.